So welcome to Fully Charged. Unusual location this week in a helicopter flying over Burbo Bank, which is an area of sea just outside of Liverpool. And I'm here with Lee Rollinson from Dong Energy, and it's a real thrill, Lee. Let me say that straight away, because we don't often get to go in helicopters, but we're just going past the wind farm now.
Yeah, so what you can see here is 25 of the Siemens 3.6 megawatt machine. These were installed 10 years ago. These were the first offshore installation of these particular machines anywhere in the world. And then as we move over to the Burbo Bank extension, these are the first offshore installation of the Mitsubishi Vestas offshore wind 8 megawatt machine anywhere in the world as well.
Wow. So wait a minute, those are 3 megawatts?
3.6.
3.6, but the new ones are 8.
8 megawatt.
Amazing jump, and that's in over a 10-year period.
In 10 years, we've doubled the size of the machine, yeah.
So can you roughly remember what size like the blades are on these? Because they look pretty big from where we are now.
Yeah, so the blades, each blade is 80 metres long, which gives us a swept diameter, which is bigger than the London Eye.
Wow.
And if we look at the blade when it's at its highest, that's 195 metres, which is bigger than the London Gherkin.
Wow.
Taller than the Radio City Tower that we've just passed.
Right. Because what's so hard? It's so hard to get the scale, but there's a thing out there that's effectively a ship, and it looks tiny in comparison to these massive machines, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's our crew transfer vessel.
Right.
Taking the guys out to work this morning.
Presumably, a lot of the design and the idea about having bigger blades and a bigger machine is that it partially that it will operate in lower wind speeds, or it'll operate in a wider range of wind speeds, I suppose.
That's the idea. So the larger blades and the technology that goes behind the blades means that we can harness winds at lower wind speeds.
How many of the new ones have you put in?
Yes, we've put 32 of these machines, giving us a total capacity of 258 megawatt.
258 megawatts. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Yes, it's quite a lot. And there was one fact you told me which I really loved, which was...
So one rotation of the 8 megawatt machine can generate enough electricity to power an average home for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I want one in my back garden.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And it's this level of innovation and driving the industry forward, which Dong Energy want to be part of and are part of.
Right. That's one of the things I didn't realise with wind turbines, is that you have like a substation out with them. Is that correct? Or there's a big sort of platform thing?
Yeah, so the substation, all of the array cables, all of the turbines need to be connected, and the array cables come in to the substation where the electricity is then transformed up to 132 kV before it's then sent
onto the shore.
Onto the shore via the export cable. Yeah.
Right. Because that's the other thing that's really interesting with offshore wind is the reduction in cost per megawatt hour. I mean, it seems to have gone down quite remarkably over the last, say, 25 years since offshore wind has been produced.
Yeah, but this is part of the innovation. This is part of what we're doing here today, from the Burbo Bank 1 wind farm to the Burbo Bank extension. In 10 years, we've doubled the capacity of a wind turbine. The less positions that we have to erect, construct and commission means that the lower the cost,
right,
and therefore lower the cost to the consumer.
There's one fact I wanted you to repeat before I ask my last question, which is how much the Burbo Bank extension could power how many Teslas. It was just the most ridiculous thing. What was that fact you worked out?
Yeah, so for the average production of the wind farm over a year period, we could power 8 billion Teslas.
So you could charge from empty to full 8 billion Tesla Model S 85s.
Yes, or we could take an average electric car and have 13 round trips to the sun.
Yeah, well, I mean that's quite handy, really. You know, if you can't find anywhere to park at Lidl, then take it round the sun. There's loads of room. That is absolutely. Those are really the most bonkers statistics I think I've ever heard. And in terms of lifespan, so the original ones you put here have been here 10 years. I mean, you must be now gaining a lot of experience as to actually how long they really do last, how much maintenance they really do need over that time. Is that working within the sort of financial parameters that you originally hoped?
Currently, yes. So we put them up with a lifetime of 25 years, and there's no reason to suggest otherwise at present.
Right.
We monitor it closely, and as anybody would with a huge number of wind turbines in the sea.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's, I suppose the drawback is, you know, if you've got one on the top of a hill, you drive a van up there and you can do stuff to it. Whereas here, little bit more complicated.
It's a little more challenging to get the guys offshore every day.
Yeah.
To maintain their safety is paramount.
Yes, because climbing up it is dangerous anyway, but getting off, I've done that once, getting off a boat that's doing waves onto a solid thing that isn't, can be quite challenging.
Yeah, it's one of the most high-risk areas of the job. For everything else we can mitigate against, but for the changing sea conditions, it is very difficult for us to mitigate against.
And also, as we were discussing earlier, tides, that we have big tidal changes here, and you can see on the wind turbines, I'm assuming at the moment the tide's out, because you're seeing a lot of the yellow, so the tide goes up, down, I can't quite tell.
Yeah, so what you're seeing there is the marine growth on the transition piece.
Right.
These particular transition pieces were built in the UK as well by OSB, another first for Dong Energy.
Right.
But yeah, as you see as the tide goes out, you see the marine growth, which we have to periodically clean to ensure that it's safe for the guys to transfer as well.
So the blades, you say, are made in the Isle of Wight, is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, blades it's the first time that the blade factory in the Isle of Wight's been used for blades, and we've got the first incarnation of those. The transition piece itself is made in the northeast with OSB, and the scale of the operation that goes into installing these machines.
Yeah, because to lift those up, you've got to basically have a ship that's got feet that stands on the seabed that can lift up a 70-ton gearbox. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Well, it's more than that, because the nacelle itself is all pre-constructed, so they have to lift.
So they lift the whole thing up. So that's got to be hundreds of tons, I suppose, with the actual generator as well. I mean,
yeah, and you're talking a couple of hundred tons, if not a little bit more.
Right.
But it's this level of ingenuity that Dong Energy are trying to promote, trying to drive forward in the industry.
Yeah. Well, that was an amazing experience. Hope you enjoyed seeing that. It is incredible to look out the window and see those massive wind turbines. I really want to thank Dong Energy for arranging this flight. It came out of the blue. We had to shift everything around to make sure we could jump on board. Absolutely brilliant experience. Thank you very much, Lee. Absolutely brilliant to be able to do it. And please do subscribe to Fully Charged and have a look at the little Patreon link. Just an idea. You won't be paying for helicopter flights. Don't worry. This is part of the Patreon budget. This is all down to Dong. We're very grateful. And we're just coming into land now because we've just flown over Liverpool. I had to do it. Anyway, if you have been, thank you for watching.